Now, there appears to be some confusion. You think I'm here to make an announcement. I just came by to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I was in the neighborhood. There has been a question of the Dunkirk plant that has gone on for a long time. And what to do about the plant, and the conversation got complicated because it got caught up in the overall state energy plan and the state energy policy. But I am here to tell you today that the state has decided that the plant will remain open, it'll be modernized, it'll expand, it'll be better than ever before. Now, thank you. Now, my colleagues from Albany, you should know your Senator Kathy Young. I work with her on a number of issues. She's great in the district. She's also a big shot back in Albany, and people really respect her. And she has been a tenacious advocate on this issue. She just knew it inside and out. She knew the facts. She knew what the community needed. She knew what was right for the state. And she fought, and she was tenacious. Let's give her another round of applause. Senator Kathy Young. And she had her partner, Assemblyman Andy Goodell. They're the dynamic duo. They team up. They are very tough to beat, these two. And Andy also was just a tireless advocate. He was always fighting, always fighting. He talked to everybody in Albany, I think, about this issue. And it's one of the main reasons why we're here today. I also want to say about Kathy and Andy that they are emblematic of the difference that's been in Albany. We don't always see eye to eye on everything. We're from different political parties. But we're there to do what's right. We're there to do what's right for the people of the state. We're there to get the job done. We're there to move things forward. And that's what we've done. And give them another round of applause because they deserve it. I want to congratulate Jim Pullen and all the people at the Chamber of Commerce for all their good work, and a special thank you to Dave Wilkinson and IBEW and the labor movement for the great organization. The specifics of what's going to happen: NRG is going to invest $150 million into the plant. We will be converting all 3 units from coal to natural gas. The output will go from 75 megawatts now to 435 megawatts. We will keep the jobs that we have there now. We believe there's going to be an addition of 50 construction jobs to do the conversion. Conversion should be done by fall of 2015. And importantly, this is going to be a 10-year contract, so we don't have to worry about this every year. And we have stability, and we can plan around it, and we can grow around it. The mayor said it's a win-win, and it is a win-win. It's a win for the state of New York, first of all, and our overall comprehensive policy, because this plant will give us more supply and more reliability. And reliability is important. And one of the reasons this transaction is possible is that the state is going to put in $15 million a year through the New York Power Authority to make this plant a reality because it adds to the reliability of the overall system. And that's why, as governor, I'm proud to support it because it will help the state overall. Its second win is Dunkirk and Chautauqua and Western New York, because I really believe this plant and the jobs that it represents. First, God forbid we would lose the plant, it would have been devastating. But I believe this is part of Western New York's rebirth. And I believe it starts here, and it's the kind of optimism that we have. I want to applaud every person in this room. I want to applaud every person who cared enough to get up and get out and make their voice heard and stand up and make this case to the government leaders, because democracy works when we exercise it. And democracy works when you use it, when you show the effort. And you did that time in and time and again. And it wasn't a short road, it was a long road. And you did what you had to do. So give yourselves a round of applause. Your leadership rose to the occasion, and they took the fight, and they continued the fight, and they refused to lose. And let's give them another round of applause. And one more point, if I can, because this is a special victory. And in some ways, I think this is a metaphor for what's going on in general in Western New York. I know the economy has been tough over the past while. Nationwide, the economy is still slow and still not doing what it needs to do. And it's been especially tough in Western New York for a long time, not just this national blip, but even before that. I was in Western New York a few weeks ago, and somebody said to me, it's been a bad 50 years for the economy. And it's a joke, but there's a note of truth in it, too. I understand that. But I'm an optimist, and I always believed that it was going to turn around, and I believe it is turning around for two reasons. Number one, when you would hear a person who was leaving Western New York for one reason or another, or a business person, they would always say, not that they want to leave, but they have to leave. I have to leave to find a job. I have to leave because my wife's job moved. I have to leave because my business moved. I have to leave because the taxes are too high. But it was always have to. You never had anybody say to you, I want to leave. They had to leave. We were forcing them out of the state. It's not because they had a better location to go to. They couldn't stay here because of what the state was doing to them. And what we were doing primarily was raising the taxes so high, we were chasing businesses from the state and chasing people from the state. Because everything they say is true. People are more mobile. Businesses are more mobile. You keep raising the taxes, you become a very difficult environment, and then the businesses will leave. People will vote with their feet, and they leave. And that was going on in this state for a long, long time, one of the highest tax states in the nation. And we kept saying, you have no economic future, it's one of the highest tax states, and we learned it the hard way, because the economy moved to other parts of the country. And who's moving to Texas, and who's moving to Florida, and who's moving to the Carolinas, because the taxes are better. But the past few years, we heard it. And we are acting, and it's different. One of my first meetings in Albany, they said, we don't have a tax problem, we have a spending problem. I said, what do you mean? They said, well, we spend a lot of money. And then we have to tax because we spend a lot of money. And we had a spending addiction in Albany. Every year, this state was spending 8, 9, 10% more. And then the bill would come due, and the politicians in Albany would say, well, now we have to raise the taxes because we have to pay the bill. Yeah, it's easy to spend money when it's somebody else's money. And the attitude was, well, when we need the money, we just go to the piggy bank. And the piggy bank was the taxpayer. And they'll just go back to you and say, well, I'm going to put my hand in your pocket again because I need more money. We didn't get in Albany that what you spend has to match what you have in your pocket. I have the same issue with one of my daughters right now, as a matter of fact. The outflow has to match the inflow. We're having issues with it. She wants to spend this on Christmas gifts, spend this on Christmas gifts. Yes, but there's an allowance and the numbers have to meet. Being governor in Albany, I'm an expert in this situation, so I had training with my daughter. But the other reason why I'm an optimist is because we have it turned around, and we're turning it around every day. And that's what I was talking about with my friends Kathy and Andy. We got to Albany, we said it's going to stop. It's going to stop now. The spending is going to stop. We have taken the spending rate that was literally 6, 8, 10% more every year, and now it's 2% more a year. 2% for 3 years in a row. Real fiscal discipline. That spending discipline has allowed us to cut taxes. We cut the personal income tax in this state for the middle class up to $300,000 a year, the lowest rate in 60 years. We have the personal income tax rate down to. That deserves a round of applause. And now this coming year, we want to take the second step. We just got a report from Governor Pataki, who did a tax commission for us with Carl McCall. We want to cut the property tax, because the tax that really makes New Yorkers suffer is the property tax, even worse than the personal income tax. It is crushing. We have one of the highest property taxes in the nation. By percentage of home value, upstate counties are getting crushed. And it has to change, and it has to change now. We want to freeze property taxes for 2 years, subsidized for the state. It'd be the first time in decades your property tax bill didn't go up and stayed constant. And that's what we want to get done in Albany. But my point is this. There is no reason why people left the state in the first place. It's what we did. It was the state policies. And once we stop the negative, once we stop forcing people from New York, we're going to start welcoming people from New York. I spent 8 years in Washington. I was in Washington during the entire Clinton administration. I worked in every state in this nation, many, many times. I know everything else that's out there. Nobody has what we have in the state of New York. This is a gem. Nobody wants to leave because people are rational. And they see New York, and they know the beauty, and they know the geography, and they know the countryside, and they know the schools and the healthcare system. They know the history. And there is no better place to live and raise a family than the state of New York. And that... And we are turning around Western New York, and you can feel it turning around. You can feel the attitude changing. You can feel the energy changing. You can see the growth starting. And this step is another big, big step to opening up a new Western New York. Congratulations, Dunkirk. Congratulations, Chautauqua. I'm proud of you and what you did. Let's go forward. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. Thank you.